The USL's League One takes us to Werner Park in Papillion, Nebraska, where we welcome you to this edition of League One action featuring Union Omaha and North Texas SC. Hello everybody, I'm Spencer Siegel. Happy to have you along as we kick off the second half of the League One season. That's right, we're already more than halfway through as we take a look at our standings, and Union Omaha on top of the table. 2 points ahead of Greenville, who drew last night with a couple of games in hand. Top 6 teams make the playoffs. North Texas just 4 points back of that playoff spot with a couple of games in hand. They are very much in the playoff picture. And we look at a matchup between these two teams for the first time this season. How do you score goals at Werner Park, a field that's so narrow, so small? You see right here, going up the gut, that's one way that Omaha gets it done. Switching the field of play, you can see the back and forth that has led to goals for Greg Hurst, who has 8 this season. Even forward Madison last weekend, able to do it with crosses into the box. That's a statistic that Omaha leads the league in. But for North Texas, a lot of their goals have come from open play and wide angles. This is Khalil El-Medkar in the middle to Eddie Manjoma, neither of whom are in the 18 today. However, you look at the amount of space that they have to play with at home. They're +8 at home. Excellent rating for North Texas, but -9 on the road. They've struggled to score goals, and they're not going to have this kind of space either from the cross or the finish. They're going to have to create with a lot of bodies in the box. We'll see if they can get it done, and we'll bring it to you next. Kickoff is on the other side.
I'm actually the first person in my whole entire family, teenagers, adults, kids, grandparents, that's gotten my bachelor's degree. It was 16 hours to Missouri, and then we picked up my dad and my brother, and then it was another 5 hours here. I didn't get a walk for high school. Everyone else gets that opportunity, so when it came to this, I was like, I don't care how far it is away.
Tonight, we would like to welcome our Centris Federal Credit Union Ball Kids. If you want to be a Centris Ball Kid at the next Union Omaha match, visit unionomaha.com/community to sign up. Thank you to Nebraska State Soccer for helping us select the Centris Ball Kids. We would like to thank these awesome restaurants in the Omaha Metro for providing team meals to our players during the 2021 season. Chick-fil-A Bellevue, Vitality Bowls, Papio Pit Barbecue, The Corner Kick, Epoca Cantina, and Beacon Hills. We appreciate your support and team meals during our 2021 season. Almost time to get things kicked off here at Werner Park. We see our referee squad trotting out towards the field, and we can take a look at the last time these two teams met while they do that. First two matchups, actually, of last season, the only two matchups these two teams have ever had. This was the first ever game at Werner Park, the first ever goal for Union Omaha, and that was a 1-0 Union Omaha win, and then a 2-2 stunning performance at Globe Life Park. It was back and forth, a game that both sides felt that they could have won, and it ended up being a goal that Omaha grabbed back right there from Vanacore Decker to finish it off at 2-2. For Union Omaha, no Vanacore Decker tonight, down with an injury, so it is, of course, Greg Hurst at the top. They expecting to have him back at some point in the near future. They just don't know when yet. So in the meantime, you go with Nick Firmino in the 10 spot, Devin Boyce and Connor Doyle on the wings. Viadera has had a couple of goals as well as he gets forward from that left back position. For North Texas, it's a state of trying to figure out how they can get it done on this field. So they'll go with the 4-3-3, which is a little bit different from their traditional 4-4-2 look, and that is with Kazu up front, Thibaut Chakel back in the lineup, and Emmanuel Almaguer holding down the midfield. See if Waldeck and Maldonado get forward, but it is the front three of Kazu, Hernandez, and Gibran Rayo who will try to make it happen for the side from Dallas. Eric Quill and Jay Mims meeting for the first time this season. Last year, the first game at Werner Park played between these two sides. We are ready to go. It's North Texas and Union Omaha. We're expecting quick movement, and for North Texas, we'll see how they penetrate what has been a very stout back line. For Union Omaha, 10 goals allowed this season. That is by far the fewest allowed in the league. And when it's a difference of 6 goals, where the second fewest teams in Chattanooga, Greenville, and Madison have all allowed 16, it really doesn't matter how many fewer games Omaha have played. This is North Texas in the white and red. Omaha will be wearing the blacks tonight.
Side, we're kicking to.
Boyce winning it back, fighting a host of jerseys as it's taken down by the captain, Waldeck.
Up counter! Go ahead, counter! Go ahead! Back, tell me!
Mikey Maldonado.
Easy, one guy. Time.
Sent back by the center back, Kroll, as Nuhu gets it away.
Go ahead, Greg!
North Texas have yet to take a point on the road this season. They are 0-4. Almaguer. Very clearly through the first 90 seconds, the directive is pretty simple. Route 1.
Turn! Again, Toby! Come on, now you're back in, Toby.
Dalton Knutson looking for the run of Hurst, who Eric Quill has been very adamant about making sure we have our eyes on him at all times. 8 goals for Hurst in League One this season, the Scotland native. And Quill says we have to understand that every turnover with our back line can result in something Hurst can take advantage of. He's faster than people think, and they blindly play balls over the top in reference to Omaha, and that's sort of what you have to do on this pitch.
Up, Devin!
Waldeck.
Right side, tuck in counter, get in.
Here's the Barcelona native Damian Viader. One back by Firmino, and then given away. Again, trying to go straight over the top. Intended for Hernandez.
Get in, Dami. We're not going this way. Now you go, yeah? Higher, Jay.
JP Skiers. Now Otieno
Go ahead.
finds Viader. get into that offensive half. Where does the creativity come from?
Quickly, Jake! Tommy's in!
See, even with 3 across in the midfield, it's tough to get through the lines. Skiers or Boyce. North Texas tried to settle themselves in. That was what Eric Quill wanted his team to do. He was a little nervous about the first 20 minutes, wasn't sure how his boys would respond. So far, they've been up for the first 5. Otieno sees space. And Souza couldn't handle it. Although North Texas's head man said, "I'm not taking any finesse players with me on this trip. If you're finesse, you're getting left behind." He needs scrappy guys. He's going with warriors in this game. His words.
Quickly, get out. Play again. Find it, Greg. Find it, Nikki.
Souza.
Quickly, Nikki.
Boyce. In for Firmino. And shepherded out by Kaiser Gomez, who just rejoined the team, has been training with Dallas all week. Has been up with the FC Dallas side. Of course, that's the nature of this North Texas team. Not sure exactly who you're going to get week in, week out. Will thought he would be seeing Khalil El-Medkar this week, who scored a handful of goals this season. Here's Villader. Now Doyle.
Turn.
Otieno. Waldeck forward. Boyce just trying to play his space with Souza. Omaha going quick. Boyce chops it in. It's headed clear. Maldonado. Clever turn from Souza. Boyce with his head up. Souza forces the outstretched arms of Sanchez.
Quickly.
And here comes North Texas. Nicky Hernandez on the run. Omaha getting back quickly, though. Fans, since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship, League One, and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com.
Back into Nicky Gray, back!
Imanol Almaguer.
Up, Nicky, up, Connor! There it is, Tommy. Yep, well done, Connor. Hey, well done, Nicky.
You can see just how tight it is, and if you've never seen a soccer match before, which we're hoping that most of you have, you wouldn't notice, but when you look at the distance between the end of the 18-yard box and the sidelines, you'll see just how little space there is. The size of the 18-yard box doesn't change from field to field. It's the distance in between that does. This is an onside run from Hernandez. And back to him. Nuhu will keep it from going over the end line and try to start something from scratch. does have an assist this season. Rashid Nuhu, one of 2 goalkeeper assists in League One history.
Yep, come on, Connor. Come on, Connor. Come on, JP.
Get there, JP.
Yep. Turn. Cover, Johnson.
Maldonado looking for Hernandez. Krull is there.
Get up. Second ball down. Second one, JP.
Last time these
All right,
two
we're up,
teams
we're up,
met,
we're up.
Rashid Nuhu was sent off.
Sosa, when we're pressing, we
Nuhu
gotta get over Dalton and Sos. Gotta get
has
over.
A couple of cards to his name. He picked up 2 cards last year, and they were both against North Texas.
Where's he going, Ref? Killing the time. Back counter a little bit, a little more counter. Back counter, back.
Gomez plucks it from under his feet.
There it is, Jake, this way, Jake, come on.
Maldonado has had a couple of nice searching balls forward.
Play down. Play. Yep.
Firmino with sweet feet. Doyle keeps it under his control.
Squeeze in, dummy. Yep.
Oh, very nicely done. So too does Thibaut Jacquel. Now over the top it goes. Kazu couldn't handle it. North Texas, though, starting to search to look for their spot. 10 minutes in, you can see that they've gained some confidence in playing on this pitch for just the second time in their club's history.
Go ahead, Connor.
We'll have to do it again later this season. Here's a turnover. Ramirez goes down. Referee says play on, and North Texas will. So, for North Texas, they spent most of the week practicing in a tighter dimension.
Get in the middle of the field, JP. Toby, get in the middle of the field.
Wanted to be tighter to over-simulate
Yep, higher,
what they would
higher,
expect
Connor.
tonight.
Yep, go ahead, dummy. Go ahead, dummy. Keep it here.
Eric Quill wants his men to be aggressive with that first pass forward, which we have seen so far. He also said we need to battle in the air and on those second balls until we settle in. He predicted an ugly game. So far, we're seeing that.
They're gonna bite hard, huh? There it is.
Souza can't get to it.
Hey, it's such an easy ball. I need ibuprofen.
Picked off by Boyce.
Go ahead, Connor. Go ahead, Connor. Go ahead, Nikki. Go ahead, Nikki. Up, Toby.
Gomez.
Up, Greg.
Gotta play with confidence along the back. Now Almaguer looking over the top for the run of Maldonado. He does keep it in play. Mikey Maldonado's cross is a good one, and it was missed right on the doorstep. North Texas with an excellent opportunity. It was Jacquel. One he'll want to have back for sure. Thibaut Jacquel, who scored twice in the season opener earlier against Fort Lauderdale, was named the player of the week that week, has come back, and an excellent chance to try and put his side ahead on the road.
Come on, Nikki. Up, Nikki. Good. Inside, Nikki. Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead, Greg.
First time we've seen Maldonado get forward, and it was the ball from Almaguer that saw him there. Again, looking forward.
Quickly, Dev!
Waldeck. Cross looking for Jaquel. In behind for Kazu. It is a corner. Let's take another look at that opportunity. Maldonado's cross. Jaquel on the end of it. You could see his reaction right away. He knew that was a prime chance. And when you're on the road in unfamiliar conditions, taking advantage of the limited number of chances you have, you know how important that is. They have not scored from a set piece since the opening week of the season. And a foul will keep that from happening here in the 16th minute. That was something that Eric Quill talked about. He said, we see teams scoring from set pieces at this park, and we see the potential in it, but the problem for North Texas, they have yet to do so since they faced Fort Lauderdale back in early May. Most of their goals coming from open play. Ferry does well. Taken back though by Souza. Has options. Looks for Boyce. Boyce's cross is tipped away, and the follow-up by Hurst over the bar. Sanchez had to be alert to it. He tipped it up off the crossbar, it looked like. And Hurst was right there for the rebound. Mark it down 1-1 as it relates to goal-scoring opportunities.
Go ahead, Greg! Go ahead, Connor. Go ahead, Tommy.
Sanchez had to be alert because that was one of those crosses that very well could have ended up as a goal.
Same thing, Greg.
You know that Greg Hurst is like a piranha, and he smells blood in the water anytime that ball is near the 6-yard box.
See ya, Devin.
He scored 8 goals last year for Chattanooga, which was the second most in the league. He's got 8 goals this season in 13 games. That, too, is tied for the second most. Flicked on. And numbers for North Texas. Jaquel slips, or actually, that's Rayo who slips. The follow-up missed. Second effort, Jaquel drops it back. Ferry's shot blocked, and Ferry slips. We have seen now a flurry of opportunities. This time North Texas had about 2 or 3 shots to put one on target. Rayo had his chance. It looked like Ferry and perhaps Jaquel.
Yep, there it is, Nicky.
Gomez resets.
Yep. Sideline Dalton. Yep, keep it wide, Nicky. Come on, Toby. Yep, go ahead, Connor. Go ahead. Sideline Jake.
Maldonado. Almano looking for options, doesn't have any.
Up, together, up, JP, up!
Waldeck trying to get forward. Almaguer. Waldeck again. Way by Knutson.
Yep.
Boyle flicks it forward for Hurst as he stayed onside. This is Greg Hurst. He's in, and he calmly puts it home. Greg Hurst knows exactly what to do in exactly the right spots, and Omaha lead it at home. You have to be alert at all times when Greg Hurst is playing along the back line and the Scotsman does what he's been doing all season long. The direct ball over the top from Doyle, and here comes Hurst. He sees Sanchez coming off of his line, and that is a clever chip. Ninth of the season for Hurst.
Yep, go ahead, Connor. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And though the first 20 minutes for North Texas started strong, they find themselves down a goal.
Up, Dolly, up. Up. There it is, up. Now you go, JP, good. Stay up, you're good. Yep, top Chino.
Ramirez trying to respond. Ryo gets involved with Nuhu. The referee didn't see anything wrong with it. Nuhu came off of his line. It looked like the ball hit Ryo in the head. I think Ryo thought for a moment. And now you can see Kaiser and Souza getting involved with our referee, Chris Ruska. And Nuhu surely played the ball. It didn't look, at least at first blush, that like Nuhu got any part of Ryo. Excellent ball from Ramirez over the top. Here's Nuhu, the chest. So the ball hits the head of Ryo. Perhaps the follow through from Nuhu got the midsection. And that will force both players to be tended to. Bit of a repeat of what we saw when these two teams met last August at Globe Life Park. Wild game that finished 2-2. Now this time it's North Texas who find themselves trailing. In that game, North Texas took 1-0 and 2-1 leads. If Nuhu is unable to continue, Kevin Piedrahita is on the bench. Queens native, but for the time being, Nuhu is back to his feet. Has been a rock of consistency this season. The Accra, Ghana native, 4 clean sheets this year. And he shakes off the cobwebs, puts himself back in as the last line of defense. There he gives it away. Hurst tries to push it forward for Firmino and does so successfully. Here's Nicky Firmino. His cross flicked away by Waldeck. But a quick counter strike from Omaha. Omaha haven't lost in their last 8 matches entering play tonight.
Get it right, Jake.
Viadaire's left foot. Gomez's clearance.
Organize, Toby. Quickly, quickly, higher Connor. Higher Connor. Yep. Turn, turn.
Otieno with plenty of space to work with.
Devin, get in the next line, Devin. Leave this for them.
Kroll.
Yep, there it is, dummy. Dummy.
Skiers sees something. It's Viadaire. He couldn't bring it under his spell. A reminder, fans, that August is USL Supporters Month. And we want to hear from you. Visit uslchampionship.com/supporters-month for more information on how you can get involved and have a chance to be featured as the supporter of the week as Nuhu comes up with his first save of the evening. A skimmer from Kazu. Brazilian native.
Time. Turn.
That was the first test for Nuhu, who
Turn, Toby. Turn.
knew had to be
JP. Turn.
alert to it and back after his collision with Rayo. You talk to any coach in League One or in the championship, they will tell you how difficult it is to chase the game in these two leagues after you've gone down a goal.
Stay, Nicky.
That's what North Texas now face. Omaha have bossed the game. Viadaire probably could have picked out a better ball that time. Maldonado has to be quick.
Time, Connor. Time. One guy. Yep, come on. Yep, that's all right.
Hernandez does well, finds Rayo. Flicked forward for Jaquel.
Time, Jake. Yep, go ahead.
Kroll looking for Hurst. It's Sanchez off of his line, and that's how you play Greg Hurst. Really the only way.
Turn.
Here's Souza.
Get up, get it right, Jake. Get up, Jake.
His cross in. Firmino collides with Sanchez. It was a clean punch, and Firmino has stayed down. Sanchez was first to the ball, which is why the referee decided the challenge was legal. It's surely a brave attempt by Firmino. And a crunching tackle.
JP.
20-year-old appears to be all right. That takes a lot out of you. J. Mims loves Firmino's play. Good touch, technical. And at 20 years old, he says he's strong for being so young and quick for being a bigger guy. Pretty much what you want in a number 10. You add the courageousness of a challenge like that, and you've got yourself a complete player.
Can we get him back on? Back on,
Hey,
ref.
can we get him back on, ref?
Play, Nicky. Come on, Nicky. Quickly. Squeeze. Yep.
Back onto the pitch comes Firmino. Here comes Ferry. Hernandez is on. Chips it towards the back post.
Hold the ball, Greg.
Cleared away by Kroll.
There it is. Yep, up.
Here's Ryo. Jaquel wanted it.
Come on, Dev. Down, Dev. Up, Sos.
Waldeck with his right foot. Good ball in, but Hernandez couldn't get to it.
Toby, see the 14, huh? First step forward.
Second half of the season just underway here in League One. Same goes for the championship. And we're looking to start the second half on a high note. Oakland Roots SC welcomes high-powered Phoenix Rising FC when the USL on ESPN continues. Don't miss a minute of the action from the Golden State, Wednesday, August 4th, 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. It's the original Golden State spot, Oakland is. Half an hour in, happy to have you along tonight.
Come on, Connor. Foul, ref.
Look up, you see Omaha has scored a goal and you would expect nothing less. Greg Hurst
The foul, ref.
over the top. Knutson away.
Organize quickly. Nikki 8. Get Toby up then, Connor. Get Toby up. This way.
Now Waldeck.
Time. Time, Jake.
This is the 11th time that Omaha have scored first in their 14 matches.
Yep, go ahead, Greg. Go ahead, Connor. Go ahead, Toby. Yep. Go ahead,
Looking
Doug.
for at least
There it is,
one
there it is.
reason as to why they are the best team in this league.
Inside, Jake.
Ryo will get to this. Gonna have to make something happen. His cross is a good one. It's deflected out for what looks to be a corner kick. That right side has been North Texas's best opportunities tonight. It was Souza who flicked it away, and that was necessary because Kazu was waiting on the back end of that pass. Second North Texas corner.
No foul! Kaiser, sem falta! Sem falta, Kaiser!
Looking for Gomez. Towards the near post, it was Ryo. It is kept in play, and perhaps to the detriment of North Texas because Union Omaha are on the run, and they've got numbers. Hurst is calling for it. Firmino can't find him. He instead looks for Boyce, who blows a tire. Chance squandered.
Back, Connor, back in. Toby, right. Yep, up.
Get a shape now, get a shape!
Fall in, Greg. Fall in, Nikki. Fall in, Greg. Yep,
Almaguer surging forward.
Yep, this way, Connor, this way.
Well done by Ferry.
Up,
Here's
Jake.
Maldonado that had success on this side. And again, looking for Hernandez, who doesn't make it to the end line.
Well done, Jake.
Missed the chance. If Firmino can get the ball to Hurst right here before you see the three white jerseys collapsing, perhaps there's a chance for Hurst to make more magic, but
Quickly, Nikki. Get out there, Nikki.
ultimately he was
Sosa
forced
back.
towards Boyce's side, and
Up,
the run was
Dalton.
put to a
Up,
halt.
Jake, a little. Back, Nikki.
Kazu forward for Ryo. Knudsen watching him, or rather Villader, I should say, and he defends well, but North Texas win it back. Ryo this time goes down, and maybe a chance for North Texas to work on the set pieces that Eric Quill have been talking about. Quill said, we've seen what other teams have done at this park to try and manufacture opportunities. More often than not, it's about switching the field of play. Ferry will try for goal, and the wall does its job.
Up, Toby! Go ahead, Toby!
More direct route.
Yeah. Squeeze in, Dummy.
Flicked
Squeeze
up
in, Dummy.
for Ramirez, and all the way through to Nuhu.
Stay, Kimo! Stay!
Higher, Drake. Nicky! Squeeze, Connor. Yep.
Quill wants his men to go. And Ryo obliges, but Knudsen once again gets in the way. One back by Maldonado. He's been bright. Ferry in for Ryo, flicked away again, and Omaha's defense does its job.
Stay, Timo! Stay, Timo! Stay, Timo! Timo!
Kroll and Knudsen are the two solid center back forces.
Turn! Quickly, move the ball.
Kroll was near 1,000 minutes last year. Over the top, looking for Hurst. Oh, he nearly got to it.
Play.
And Sanchez will take it back to the safe zone. Wow. That was a surging ball from Knudsen, and that's when you least expect it from Omaha.
Come on, Dalton. Yep. Well done, guys. Hey, well done, Devin. Sosa.
You've got Knudsen, who's a native Texan. Spring, just under 900 minutes last year at South Georgia Tormenta. Played collegiately at Central Arkansas.
Up, on his left.
Waldeck
Too deep. Yeah.
finds Ryo. Sweet turn. Shed Skierce.
Narrow, Tommy. Narrow.
Kazu looking for the cross.
Nicky, up, Toby.
Instead
There
hits
you
the
go,
reset
Greg.
button.
Keep it wide, Greg. Yep, there it is, Connor. There it is, Connor. Come on, Donnie. No foul. Yep, no foul. Up, no foul. No.
Hernandez tackled by Villader. He's going to have to be careful. A couple of fouls on the Spaniard now. He does his job on both ends of the pitch, does Damian Villader. Most chances created in League One this season, the most crosses in the league this season.
Yep, tuck in, Connor, tuck in. Come on, Toby.
Yet we have not seen him as much in this first half offensively.
Get it, Jake, good. Get it, Donnie. Not coming back, get inside. Yep, there it is.
Brought down so calmly by Firmino, and then he flicks it forward for Boyce. Here is Viader.
Get it right, Sos. Get it right, Jake.
Now Doyle.
Foul, ref, huh? Get it right, Jake. That's you, Jake.
Boyce's cross. Cleared away by Ramirez.
We'll let you know in a minute. We're tracking about 3 right now, but
Get it right again, Dalton. Time.
Sounds to me like 3 minutes of extra time is perhaps in the cards.
Get in the middle.
Well, admittedly, too.
Here's Kroll.
It's more than that. It's more than that, because ours is.
Devin, if you can find him. Devin, if you can find him.
Devin on Jake.
Is that, well, in that one, that
Directive
one's probably right. Because
is
I
clear
was
now
right.
for Omaha. Get yourselves
Right about
into halftime at the very least with this lead in hand and the clean sheet intact.
Not at all, because you can't get it there.
Get in, Toby. Get in. Not coming this way. Not coming this way. Get in, Toby.
3 games around the League One grounds tonight.
Turn, big one, Jake. Go ahead. Turn around. Yep, go ahead. Go ahead, Connor.
Richmond and Tucson battled early today. That finished 1-0 to the Kickers. That has gone final. Penalty kick goal by Emiliano Terzaghi, who scores for the 2nd straight week. That win for Richmond, at least temporarily, vaults them into a playoff position. And then you've got Chattanooga and Madison. They are not yet at full time. In fact, once we hit halftime here, you can catch the final 5 minutes of that one. Or you can stick with us during halftime. We're happy to have you too. But it does look like a good finish. 1-1. In the 82nd, as it stands.
Higher, Chucky. Michael, see Michael. Keep going. First piece. Higher, Chucky. Go. Make him defend. Go. Make him track you.
Up, Tommy, up. Up.
Ryo
Come on, Tebow.
takes his space.
Yep.
Otieno with pace. Now Firmino. Hurst keeps it alive. No foul. Firmino is offside.
Back in, Nicky. Squeeze in. Come on, Dev.
Come on, Mike. Get in the next 22.
Boys coming back to help out defensively as Souza plays it forward. Gomez right there. Kaiser Gomez flicks it over the top. Once again, Nuhu will calmly collect. Been a recent string of draws in this league. Recently, you'll see why at halftime as well, as we show you highlights from last week. In fact, if you take the top 3 teams in this league entering tonight, Omaha, Chattanooga, and Greenville, their last 15 combined matches have ended in 10 separate draws. Boyce, Souza, Otieno, he's thinking about it. Otieno's shot left something to be desired.
Yep, I'm good. We'll go.
I'm hearing 3 minutes. I think you at home are also hearing 3 minutes, so we'll throw 3 extra minutes up on the board.
Connor can do that, Toby. Yeah. Yep.
Whoops. Doyle. Oh, he tried to slip in Firmino, and he got it wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated that there will be a minimum of 3 minutes of added time.
It was a bright start for North Texas. They appeared somewhat shell-shocked after they gave up the 20th minute goal to Hurst. Prior to that, they were the one that had the better of the opportunities. We've seen Hurst strike quickly, though. And the goal coming from Hurst with Doyle's assist. Connor Doyle's 5th assist of the season. That puts him into 2nd place in the league all by himself. Knudsen over the top. Well done once again. Left off by Firmino for Boyce. They couldn't find Hurst. Wait, wasn't Boyce just at midfield a moment ago? He is everywhere tonight. Villader's give and go. Damian Villader. Oh, he's looking for Hurst, and he's got him. Gomez tracking.
Get it right, Jake. Dalton. Up then, Jake.
Still time to squeeze one more opportunity in this half, really, for either side.
Quickly, Tommy, quickly. Quickly. In the left counter, tuck in.
Threat just has not been there for North Texas in the second half of this first half.
Cover, dummy. Up Toby on his left.
Finding it tougher to get creative, that's for sure. It's not easy to play so narrow when you're not used to it. It has become clear. Looks very much like an Omaha lead heading into halftime. And Eric Quill will have some adjustments to make. But the Werner Park faithful have a solid start on their hands. It's Greg Hurst, who else, who has grabbed the game's only goal so far, 20th minute, assisted by Doyle, and that is where we stand. It is halftime. We'll be back with more on the other side.
At Nebraska Medicine, we're serious about safety. Every extraordinary measure we take is for you and you, so you can get the expert care you need today at every one of our locations. Together, we're elevating our world-leading safety protocols, implementing new social distancing guidelines, and offering care anywhere with telehealth, all so you can continue being your extraordinary you.
Halftime at Werner Park, Union Omaha and North Texas SC. We've had an excellent week in League One. This week, let's take you back to last Saturday, take a look at some highlights, starting with Chattanooga and Greenville for the Red Wolves. This foul here right on the outskirts of the box leads to their first opportunity. First half action against the league leaders. And it's Jose Carrera Garcia. Is this a little trickery? Look at that. Windows, is that the lasso special? Yeah, 1-0 to Chattanooga. They take the lead, and they would try to hold on to it for as long as they could. However, Greenville not the number one team in the league for nothing. This would be Marios Lomas on the end of this cross to knot things up. 1 goal apiece. His 12th of the season. That is far and away the most in the league for any individual thus far. 1-1, this one would end. Chattanooga and Greenville. How about Tormenta and Richmond? Boy, it's been a good stretch for South Georgia Tormenta, and they got off to a good start in this game, too. That was 109 seconds in. Marco Micheletto from the spot. Fastest goal in club history. And then Kobe Perez in the second half. It's about an hour into the game. Tormenta's got a 2-0 lead. Surely they'll see this out, right? Not in this stretch of highlights. Draws are the name of the game. So with Richmond storming back, this started about 2 minutes later. Emiliano Terzaghi, he gets the goal off the deflection. Excellent flick by Terzaghi. And then right towards the end of the game, 88th minute, ball is bouncing around. Olex Anderson falls down, gets back up again, and tub thumps it into the back of the net. 2-2 your final there. Forward Madison, Fort Lauderdale. This one played in front of a host of fans, and they enjoyed watching Noah Fuson doing this. Right towards the end of the first half, a fiery rocket from Fuson makes it 1-0. Fort Lauderdale have not gained any points from losing positions this season. You thought that would be the case. 100 minutes into the game, last kick of the game, Mitchell Curry ties it up 1-1, and that's how the game would end. We're pretty sure that's the latest goal in League One history. We'll go with that. 100 minutes. Hard to beat that. And then last night, this was a Friday night special, first game played in Toronto since 2019. This was more of a ceremonial congratulations to seeing soccer back in Canada. Toronto and Greenville. This also marked the halfway point of the season in League One, and it would end with a couple of clean sheets for both sides. First clean sheet this year for Toronto. They get it at home. Red card here would be Brandon Fricke's, his second yellow of the game. So that was towards the end of the first half, and from there, 0-0 would be the way the game was played. Very defensive. Dallas J coming up with a couple of big saves for Greenville. Caleb Patterson-Sewell doing the same for Toronto. It ended 0-0. 4 draws in the last 4 games in League One. We've got more coming up on the other side. Halftime.
I am a first-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
The 18, the Marcus Sargent goes to his left. Hard strike, and it's in the net. 2-1 Oakland.
Split shit, another massive stop. Shoots, deflected, and a big save from Rawls. As Asante takes this on. Oh, that's a tremendous goal from Solo.
Take a look at some news and notes from around the rest of League One. Yeah, it is the halfway point of the campaign in 2021. Starting the second half now, so it's half done, but it's also, still halfway to go. Robbie Christo is your player of the week after North Carolina gets another win. It's good for them to see that for them. Meanwhile, 4 of the 5 matchups this week, they're all first-time matchups in 2021, including this very matchup here between Omaha and North Texas. This is what your team of the week looks like. For Omaha, you see Damia Villader up there, and that is his screaming rocket of a goal. I see 3 Owls on the board with Otieno and Hurst to boot. Speaking of boot, how about the Golden Boot race? Lomas is at 12, and now Hurst is at 9. Nicoletto, 1 behind Terzaghi and McLaughlin, although Terzaghi also got a goal today. So you can see 2 more trying to chase Lomas. It's still up for grabs. You still got half the season to go, right? As it relates to assists, it's Acosta with 6, and you can add 1 more name to that list of 5 because Connor Doyle's first half assist to Greg Hurst today puts him in a 3-way tie for second place. Who's trying to keep goals from hitting the back of the net? Well, I see Rashid Nuhu. That's 4 clean sheets for him, 1 back of Dallas J, who's conceded twice as many goals in 3 more games than Nuhu. So I would say as far as the clean sheet race, Golden Glove race is concerned, Nuhu is your front runner, especially the way Omaha's defense is playing right now. It did finish 1-1 if you happen to head over there for a moment and come back and join us for the end of halftime. Chattanooga and forward Madison. Richmond with Terzaghi's goal makes it 1-0 over Tucson. Had a scoreless draw, as we mentioned yesterday. A lot of draws in the league, and we're wondering if this one will be the same. This will finish off week 17 in League One. 7:30 tomorrow night. Selmir Miscic. You don't want to miss that guy play. He's always fun to watch. North Carolina starting to work their way back into things, especially this guy, Robbie Christo. If he keeps doing things like that, he's going to win Player of the Week several times over. Fort Lauderdale coming off of that exciting finish in Wisconsin last weekend when they grabbed points at the death, literally at the death. It couldn't have been any later than that, 100 minutes in. Union Omaha plays their next game next week. And when North Texas comes back, they will also have a tough test on their hands. We'll get more into that a little bit later on. Let's take one more break for you, and when we come back, first half highlights, stats, and the second half kick. All right, let's take a look at our highlights from the first half of this one. It started with a couple of early chances for North Texas. This was Thibaut Jacquel right across the face of goal. Had a chance had he made contact to put North Texas in the lead. Then a cross that nearly fell for Hurst off the crossbar, and Hurst almost puts home the first goal. I believe it was Boyce that was on the front end of that cross. Now, Greg Hurst would get his second opportunity, and it was Connor Doyle's ball over the top. Greg Hurst's one touch off the head, and then a smooth, silky finish to give Omaha the lead. His 9th of the season, Doyle's 5th assist of the season. That seems to be the combination for this team. Yeah, you can just keep playing that on loop over and over. That's fine. It's that sweet, and it is the difference in our game thus far. First half stats. See that both teams have had the ball pretty much evenly, and that's what we would expect on a pitch like this. No cards have been issued yet tonight, and that actually shouldn't come as a surprise, really, for both of these teams. Despite the chippiness of last year's games, these two teams are bottom 3 in the league in cautions. As we start the second half, Spencer Siegel with you. Happy to have you along at Werner Park, just outside of Omaha on a Saturday night. Beautiful night for some soccer. First matchup of the season between these two teams. It's North Texas in the white. It's Omaha in the black. Two corners for North Texas in that first half. None for Omaha. Kazu tried to flick it to himself. As the second half gets underway, worth noting that Omaha, who have not lost a game in their last 8, will play North Texas 3 more times after this one. These two teams meet. That's what happens when you don't see a team halfway through the season, but you're scheduled to play 4 times. The games will then soon come quick. There was a sense of urgency about North Texas in the first 20 minutes. That's what got them their opportunities, but since they conceded the goal, it's been much more difficult to press forward. This is a good start here. Here's Kazu. Waldeck couldn't get to it. Viader tracks it down. Bernard Kamungo has come into the game for North Texas, halftime substitution. It was Kamungo, the Tasmanian, who enters the game for Jacquel. So Thibaut Jacquel only gets 45 minutes under his belt, and here goes Kamungo, and he's in an offside position, though he wouldn't believe so. Quality run, though, from the Tasmanian. Pro debut in North Texas's first match this season against Fort Lauderdale. Scored 8 minutes into his debut and has been a bright spot this season. We'll see if he can spark something for the red and white tonight. Beautiful flick over the top by Skiers, but Souza couldn't get to it. Sweet feet from Kazu. Looking for Kamungo. He's in. Bernard Kamungo gets it caught under his feet, but doesn't make a mistake after that. He's tied the game at 1. Minutes after coming on as a halftime substitute. He scores his second goal of the season. And the 19-year-old has things square at 1. The injection of pace, and you thought right here for a moment that he wasn't going to be able to finish it, but he collects himself, finds the spot, picks it out, and puts it home. What a story this young man has become. Just mentioned his other goal came in the season opener. He scores for the first time since then. And we've got a brand new ball game on our hands. North Texas coming out with a sense of purpose. Kazu dumps it off again for Kamungo. Back for Kazu. Black jerseys back in bunches. Claims of handball, nothing doing. Kroll tries to release Hurst the other way. Sanchez is way off of his line, and you better keep your eyes on your screen the rest of the way. Things heating up in Papillion. Our first card comes right after the equalizing goal. It's Waldick. Boy, Kamungo, who was born in Tasmania, his family lived in a refugee camp before relocating to Abilene. What a wonder that he's been for this North Texas side. Played his high school soccer in Abilene. Used a $90 fee for a tryout. He ended up signing his first professional deal this March. Already making an instant impact. His first pro club. Ferry looking for Waldeck. Hurst flicks it forward. Firmino. Ramirez goes sliding in. Firmino may have gotten clipped in the process. No foul though. And it's an Omaha throw.
Back pressure. No, Kazu. Fica lá. Back pressure then. Okay, good.
Souza clipped up, headed on by Skiers, not too far away. You can credit Kazu with the assist on Kamungo's goal, his first assist of the season. Very similar to the last time these two teams met at Globe Life Park. We're seeing a developing storyline. Viader has a lane. Here's Firmino, he chests it down, and his effort wasn't so far wide. You can see the confidence the 20-year-old plays with, Nick Firmino. certainly has a license to shoot whenever he wants. He'll always pick the right play, though. Kazu. There's the switch of play that North Texas has been looking for. And it's done well for Maldonado. Almaguer's cross in, headed away. There's Firmino's effort. Not an easy finish. See North Texas starting to adjust. Jay Mims for Omaha made it very clear that he thinks North Texas is the most talented team in this league every year, especially given their aggressive style of play, because they play with bite. He also said a lot of teams change their style coming into our park. So we throw the scouting book out the window and try to focus on key players. I don't think they had Bernard Kumungo circled when this game started. He comes off the bench to make the instant impact, but Jay Mims calls that change of formation, the change of pace when teams come in here, a sign of respect. Omaha have had success playing at home thus far despite their limited number of games at this park. This is just their 6th home matchup of the season in what is their 14th game. Mims is pleased with the way this team has come together, and he says with the missing pieces we have, guys have grinded, and we know the best is yet to come. Of course, no Ethan Vanacore-Decker tonight. No Evan Conway. Conway was the one who scored that goal in the home opener, first home game in the franchise's history. Rayo tracks it down, looking for his cross, instead drops it back. Almaguer.
Quickly, Toby. Sprinting, Toby. Let's go.
And again.
Up, down, up. Left to right.
No pressure on the ball, so North Texas looking for options. They haven't found any.
Use the 6 and the 8. Eva, play. This is where we need you. Move the block.
You're talking about missing Evan Conway. That's an all-league first-teamer last year. Vanacore-Decker, who had 2 assists in 2 games against this team a year ago. Kept in play by Ferry. Cut out by Viader.
Play.
Good. Now play again. Open there.
One back by Firmino.
Turn around.
Frustration, though, setting in for Omaha. Hurst drops it back, tries to get it back, and does. Takes on Kaiser Gomez. Greg Hurst looking for Boyce, and it's just over the top. Does manage to keep it in play. Flipped up for Hurst, who stayed on side, according to the assistant referee. Boyce muscles off one defender. into the 18, and he wins Omaha's first corner of the night. Sweet left foot of Damian Villader. And some cotton candy. Punched away by Sanchez. He can get to it cleanly, but it is out for a throw. Taken quickly. Here's Villader. We know he can strike them. Saw that last week. Kazu with his head up. It's asking a lot of Rayo. Boys tries to squirt through two defenders, gets taken down in the process. This is a set piece for Omaha. It's a tough angle for them to make something of this. Certainly too far out to shoot, not quite wide enough to create a cross.
Hey! Toby, where are you supposed to be? You only see 6 versus 4 there. You got it right. Take your time down. Relax.
Villader in, met by the head of Skierce, who couldn't put it on frame. Good action, though. The Owls have put pressure on North Texas since conceding. Looking to do so again. Doyle, low ball in, cut out by Ramirez. Kazu flicks it forward. Kamungo on the run. Kroll asking a lot of Nuhu, who obliges. The only way that ends up working, especially with Kamungo's pressure and speed, is when the keeper and back line are in complete control from communication to chemistry.
Get up, Juki, get up.
Fans, if you can't watch the match, you can turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and USL All Access with Mike Watts and Devin Kerr as we see Almaguer head into the book. Second booking for North Texas along with the captain Waldeck. That USL All Access show, that's Tuesday nights, 7 Eastern. You can also hear live action from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157, the Sirius XM app. You wonder where this game-winning goal is going to come from. You have to believe the way that both teams have charged north and south, And it will come in the blink of an eye. There's just not a lot of room for a slow, prodding buildup. Mungo can certainly try to help with that, though this one will be brought back. And a yellow card for Kroll. A feeling that the second half might get a little chippier, and the equalizing goal has only accentuated that. Waldeck for Rayo, well done. Flicked up for Kamungo, taken away by Villader. He gives it right back though, now he's out of position. Kamungo puts it back into the open space. Hernandez on his left, and Nuhu is there. He too wants to go quick. Whistle will bring this back to the point of the foul. Once again, the referee reaches into his pocket and pulls out a card. This one is for Kazu. It's a tale of two different games last year as it came to cautionable offenses. Trying to recreate the angle, it's done well, and Hurst puts it wide. Oh, how close was that? Greg Hurst had a lot to do from that position. It would have been a monumental goal. Just didn't quite have his compass right. Still managed to make good contact. That is not too far away. One in the air by Boyce. Last year at this park, a 1-0 win in week 2 for Omaha. That game saw just 2 yellow cards in the game, period. However, 3 weeks later at Globe Life Park, 7 yellows, 2 reds. Kazu does bring it under control the first time, but he couldn't collect it the second time. It appeared as if he had stayed onside. Ramirez makes a run forward.
Sub 28 for 88. Sorry, I thought he told you.
See Alex Bruce, he will make his way onto the pitch for North Texas. That'll be their second substitution. Leaves them 2 windows and 3 subs should they want them. They only put 6 players on the bench for this trip tonight. The Englishman is on in place of Kazu. Here's Kamungo, tried to lay it off for Rayo. Rayo's on an island all by himself. He sneaks in somehow, and Nuhu comes up with the save. Another opportunity perhaps squandered. Looked like Rayo had a clean look at goal. Nuhu had to be there for it, though. Rayo taken down, but Otieno gets the ball first, and Omaha come the other way. Firmino's in the middle. Boyce heads that way.
Inside, get inside. Play. Get on. Keep it.
So they took out 80.
Perhaps time to slow things down. It's been a frantic second half that started 4 minutes in with a Kamungo goal that has tied this game. Still plenty of opportunities left for either side to grab all 3 points that are up for grabs. J. Mims will be making his first chess moves of the night. Like over the top and on. Kamungo is there, however. The flag raised first. This was Rayo's chance, and it looked like it was just him and Ferreira Souza, and Rayo somehow got in. Nice challenge by Skierce at the end, too. He may have put Rayo off just a bit, but we will see Elmafor and Emir Alihadzic check in. You can consider both of these aggressive moves. It'll be 4. And Alihadzic coming in 4 will replace Nick Firmino, who had a good night tonight. Alihadzic will send Otieno to the bench. Bosnian, who went to school just down the road, Alihadzic, at UNO.
From here, so you can go wide, Sosa. You can
First
go wide
drafted
now.
player in program history.
Now you gotta go in if he goes. Keep an eye on him here.
The school that J. Mims
Higher.
built from the ground up.
Higher, Sosa.
It's the soccer program. Here's Boyce. Hursk asking for it, and he's got it. Whipped back in. Poor clearance effort, and Skierce rips it over the top.
Hey, second one. You gotta go, JP.
Oh, that's a foul, yeah. Well done, Dalton.
Get outside, Elma.
Alihadzic dropping deep. Sousa. Baltic has to be careful. He's on a yellow. Here comes Villader. Just couldn't keep his footing. He'd gotten past the defender. It was really the byline that took him out. You're wondering what's at stake over the next 20 minutes or so. Both sides could use 3 points for two different reasons. With Chattanooga's 1-1 draw against Madison earlier tonight, Omaha will finish the night atop the League One standings regardless of the result. Nuhu bobbles it, but gets it back. They'll have played 14 games, Union Omaha, along with Chattanooga. A win for the Owls would put them 4 points clear of second place, Chattanooga. Here's Elma Four from Cameroon. Meanwhile, 3 points for North Texas goes a very long way in their playoff hopes. Four has plenty of bodies to aim at in the box. He picks out Villadere. The follow-up by Hurst is cleared. Kamungo gives it away. Sosa calling for the switch of play. Sosa looking for Hurst, just out of his reach. It's Villadere's run initially that freed up Four. And Sanchez had to be brave as well. There's a lot of flying boots in and around his face. Souza gets past Kamungo. Curls it in smoothly. Four tried to elevate.
Come on, Bernard! Go, Bernie, come on, let's go, Derek! Push, push! Inside, Bernard, inside, Bernard! JP! JP! Yours, Blake!
Ferry gets bumped ever so softly. A win for North Texas would put them at 18 points. That would, for the time being, put them 1 point back of New England and Fort Lauderdale. Richmond picked up a win, so they currently hold on to the 6th spot on 20 points. Ali Hadjic. Not going to get past Gomez. He is rock solid. He gives it away this time, and Hurst has loads of space. He takes it down and goes for the spectacular. And the fan gets a temporary souvenir. Well, you've scored 9 goals. You have a license to do just about anything. You can take pretty much any shot that you get your feet on. Skiers. Now Boyce. The United Soccer League, all 12 League One clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com.
Up, up, up! Up, go Elma!
Gomez looking to go over the top.
Yep, second one down, second one.
Boyce, Hurst. There's the flag. That's what he does, Greg Hurst. If you're looking for another comparison, as Kamungo goes down, it was a dangerous tackle, and again, out comes the card. I look at Greg Hurst, and from a tactical standpoint, all I can see is Jamie Vardy. Plays along the back line. Every time Omaha gets the ball back through a turnover, his first instinct is to run, and his teammates' first instinct is to look up to see if they can play a ball over the top for him. So Boyce and Kroll have both been carded for Omaha. Can North Texas grab a goal off of a set piece? They haven't done it since week 1. And it was out of the reach of a couple of white jerseys. Maldonado, the last of them. Omaha just toying around in the corner.
Shape, Connor.
Fans, it's for the W. The USL recently announced the formation of the USLW League, providing increased equity and opportunity for women looking to pursue careers in soccer both on and off the pitch. Here comes Boyce on the run. He'll take it on himself. And he'll want that one back as well. The W League is comprised of clubs from across the championship, League 1, League 2, and new expansion markets. The W League is set to begin play in 2022 in more than 30 communities across the United States. Head over to uslwleague.com to learn more. Alihajic for Villader. Back to Emir Alihajic. Get the feeling that there's at least one more really good chance for one of these two sides left in this game. We'll see John Murphy replace a very exhausted but well-deserved ovation for Devin Boyce. League One does not track distance traveled on the pitch, but I think you need those statistics to know that he ran more than anybody else out there today. Kamungo. Sent in by Maldonado. Kamungo couldn't get to it. Claims of handball and offside. Neither were given. North Texas mounts its pressure. Murphy gets involved. Skiers pops it up. Alihajic. Probably best that that one didn't ultimately find its way in the back of the net. I think Greg Hurst indeed did touch that one with his arm. Only loss this season for Omaha was at Madison. That was 9 games ago. A 1-0 defeat up in Wisconsin. That's the next matchup for Omaha this season. They head to, or I should say they stay home Oh, that's a beautiful flick from Hurst for 4. This could be the moment. Elma 4, and it's deflected by Ramirez. The final ball to find 4 shows you Greg Hurst is not just a goal scorer. He can be a facilitator, too. That was fantastic. Does set up a corner. Fans trying to will their team here at home. Villader's left foot. Good ball in. Cleared away by Gomez. Back in by Ali Hadjic. 4 gets his head to it wide. Back the other way comes North Texas. Gibran Rayo with Bruce in the middle.
Back in, Elma 8.
Look how many black jerseys make their way back in defense.
Well done, Johnny.
So hard to pierce through at Werner Park.
Come on, Johnny, come on. 10 minutes here. Yep.
At an accelerated pace. That is Rayo, and he's back to his feet. That's good news for North Texas. I have to say, upon the initial look, he went down fairly easily without a lot of contact around him, and you never like to see that, what it could mean. This will all get added on to the extra time.
Guys, wait till you guys leave. 27 for 80, 32 for 14.
You heard a couple of subs being made. Colin Smith will come in for Rayo, so that'll end his night anyway. And Allison, who was initially questionable tonight, he was nursing a hamstring injury, was on the bench. He is ready to go. He'll get a couple of minutes here at the end of this game. So Allison Dos Santos Correa from Sao Paulo. And Colin Smith, the Frisco native, trying to see out a point for North Texas. It would be a big point gained from this position. Omaha surely going for the win. And here they come. Out wide, it's Doyle. Looking for Hurst. Gomez sends it away. Villader goes down and wins the free kick. And this is a dangerous spot. We know Omaha love this area of the pitch. They can get very crafty from here. And it's all on the foot of number 3 in black, Damia Villader. His first pro season last year in Omaha. He sends this in. It's a good ball off of 4, and a deflected parry by Sanchez keeps North Texas alive. It's only a corner as we approach the full 90. Villader again, headed on by Skeers, and Sanchez is there once again. You can't say the chances have not been there. Only 3 added minutes. Seems a little low, doesn't it? Skiers had a good look at it, just couldn't generate the power behind the cross, and that's sometimes what happens with out-swinging balls like that when you've got a left footer from that side. A little harder to redirect. Still time for Omaha. Time too for North Texas, but you'll see time is their friend right now. They'd like to see this out. It would be North Texas's first point gained on the road in 2021. And they would have done it from a losing position.
This way, Johnny, this way, wider.
Doyle spears it forward. Gomez has been a brick wall tonight. Kamungo trying to make something out of nothing. That is Omaha ball with about 90 seconds remaining, but first a substitution. And if nothing else, that's just to slow the game down. Hope Aveyevu another man from Accra, Ghana in the game. Same hometown as Omaha's goalkeeper, Nuhu. He comes in for Ferry. A little hope off the bench for North Texas. And they've got just over 60 seconds or so to see this out. That is a rugby-style tackle. The directive from the bench is clear. No reason that North Texas can't send a few people forward for this one. Allison. Seen out by Villader. Still time, but Omaha needs to go quickly. Well, the referee put a few extra seconds on after the substitution. Looks like he'll let play go on, but it is North Texas who is satisfied with a point on the road. Forward for Bruce. Might as well try a long throw, right? They've got the ball where they want it. Maldonado lines it up. Final action of the match. Sent away, and that is the final whistle. North Texas want the corner, but they won't get it. And they come from behind and grab their first point on the road this season. It finishes level at 1, and the draws in USL League One continue to show their face. It happens once again. Another 1-1 finish for Omaha. We'll be back with more on the other side to wrap this one up. Full time at Werner Park, Union Omaha and North Texas SC finish 1-1. That's the 6th game this year that Omaha finished a game with a 1-1 final score. Just to give you some perspective, there were 8 games in the entire league last year that ended 1-1. They've done it 6 times this year. Let's take a look at the highlights from this one and show you how we got to that final score. See, there was 1-1. It's League One, but we got there eventually. A couple of chances early for both sides. North Texas had the better chances before the first goal came home. This cross from Boyce off the bar, and the follow-up by Hurst nearly made it 1-0 to the home side, but Greg Hurst would get his opportunity. It was Doyle over the top. It was Hurst doing exactly what he does best, getting in behind the defense and making them pay. His 9th of the season and the 5th assist for Doyle made it 1-0 into halftime. Union Omaha would take the lead, but at the beginning of the second half, a substitution for North Texas. The 19-year-old Bernard Kamungo would come in and make an immediate impact. He too would get in behind, had it caught under his feet for a moment, but he beats Rashid Nuhu and he levels the game at 1 apiece. His 2nd goal of the season, scored his first just 8 minutes into his pro debut at the tail end of April. That would make it 1-1, and that would be how it would end. There were a few chances on the back end of this one, but ultimately it was Nuhu and the opposing keeper Sanchez who stood strong. Rashid Nuhu made the one save he needed to make on Gibran Raya. Plenty of shots in this one. You knew it would come. 7 shots total on target. It was a back-and-forth game as far as possession goes. The caution started to pick up in the second half. It did get a little chippy, which we would expect from these two teams, who are 2 of the league's best. Take a look at our updated League One standings. You can see that the point for North Texas keeps them firmly in that race. They've got 2 games in hand on a couple of teams, even 3 games in hand on some of the teams in the 5th through 9th positions, and the top 6 make the playoffs. Omaha maintain their 2-point lead on Chattanooga for first place in the league. Next time Omaha takes the pitch, it's at home next Saturday against Forward Madison. That was their only loss this season against Forward Madison, and that will do it for our upcoming games. Union Omaha will face off next Saturday, August 7th. Make sure you tune in on ESPN+. But for our producer, Ryan Rose, I'm Spencer Siegel. For our entire crew, we thank you for joining us tonight. Final score from Werner Park, Union Omaha 1, North Texas SC 1. Good night, everyone.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.